Tony Hawk asks, you say yes. Oh, look at that. I'm actually pretty good at this.
Yeah.
I have finally been relieved of the burden of virginity.
Today I'm joined by a guest who needs no introduction, but I'll give him a quick one anyway. Per his memoir, Steveo is a professional idiot who you'll know from Jackass, Wild Boys. He's a stand-up comedian and has a podcast, Wild Ride with Steveo. Thank you so much for being here. What's your relationship with gaming? Like, what's your earliest gaming memory?
My relationship with gaming is complicated. I have a history of being critical of video games in kind of like a very unlikable, kind of a pompous way.
You say this amongst the gamers.
Well, right,
in the
that's why
lion's
I'm
den.
here. No, that's why I'm here, is because I see the error in my ways. And this is why I hate video games, is because I think that, like, I think that it's just a criminal waste of time and energy and effort. It's just, I realize how dumb I am for having said that when I sit there and pour time into watching YouTube and scrolling through this and that. Like, I'm as addicted to my cell phone as anybody else. So for me to be on some kind of self-righteous high horse criticizing people not using their time wisely is absolutely absurd. There were just a couple of times recently where I had critical things to say about gaming that were just particularly egregious and brought about like some pretty deserved hatred on the internet. How does being good at video games get you laid, or get you paid? And I couldn't figure that out. And my thing about like negative comments is that they really, really hurt me when I agree with them.
Oh, so they were holding the mirror up.
Yeah, and so like there have been a lot of times when I saw negative comments with which I agreed that made me want to be very deliberate and proactive about rectifying my behavior. Mm-hmm. And so like when I saw this opportunity to be here, I pounced on it. Like, I honestly see it as coming to do my best to make things right with the video game community.
So what, other than like you thought gaming was a waste of time, did you have any experience gaming yourself before?
Sure. I mean, when I was a kid, very young, there was a gaming console called Intellivision. This is like right around the time of Atari. Mm-hmm. We played Major League Baseball on the Intellivision. There was a game called Pitfall.
Yes.
Where you went running through like swamps and stuff. You had to not land in the water, rather you had to land on alligators, and which is kind of fitting for me.
I was gonna say.
The next thing I remember was just the basic Nintendo that came with the basic Super Mario Brothers. And what was different about that was that I actually saved up my allowance to purchase it.
Wow.
Like, this was not just, oh, Dad got the video game thing, so I'm going to play it. This one, like, I wanted it, and I saved up my money, and I went out and I bought it. When my friends came over to the house, we would play the Nintendo. I remember very well purchasing a game called RoboCop. I mean, it was based on the movie.
Yeah.
God, we put time into that. I was 15 years old at that time. That's the only game I can say that I ever actually finished.
Wow. What was it about that game in particular? Just because it was the RoboCop?
I don't know. I don't really remember anything about it. But at that point, I was either riding my skateboard or I was playing RoboCop.
No in between.
Yeah.
What then led you to kind of fall off playing video games? Was it just...
I would guess the obvious answer, since I was 15 years old when playing RoboCop. It was when I turned 16 years old that I decided to seek out marijuana. I wasn't one of these people who was peer pressured into smoking pot. Like, I actually went looking for it. Yeah, I approached people who I believed might be potheads, and I asked them if they could turn me on to some, if I could try it. And I'm basically every day. I became an everyday pot smoker. I also was eager to sample LSD,
Right.
And I got quite thirsty and drank alcohol every day. So that might have helped me kind of fall off the video game thing.
Yeah.
The beginning of my junior year of high school, when I was fairly newly 16 years old,
Right.
I started a diary. And in the beginning of the diary, I wrote, well, you guys just began doing drugs, and I think my memory might start failing me. So I'm gonna just write stuff down.
So that's why you started writing a diary.
That's why I started a diary. Can you imagine how low I had set the bar for my ambition at that point? I was like, gonna go ahead and write stuff down because I'm planning on forgetting.
Yeah, you really decided to jump both feet into the whole weed and booze lifestyle.
And on November 4th of 1990, it turns out my memory stayed pretty good. My entry was, I have finally been relieved of the burden of virginity. Meaning that I got laid for the first time on November 4th of 1990.
I like that you wrote it like some kind of Victorian
Yeah.
guy.
Relieved of the burden. So I don't know, I was kind of in that trap for a long time. And I would say that kept me away from video games.
So have you been playing any video games since that?
Yeah, Angry Birds, like I super got on that bandwagon.
That's a game. You're a gamer.
I remember being on a tour of Australia and saw none of Australia because I was just sitting there like, it even occurred to me like, wow, like I might look up and out the window like on this tour and take in something, but no. I just completely ignored everything except Angry Birds for that whole tour.
So you have been in a number of video games though.
I have.
Well, so I guess we'll start with the ESPN 2K5. How did that come about?
For sure they reached out to me.
Hey, Steveo here. You ready to show me what you got? All right. Let's get it on.
Well, it's you, David Arquette, Carmen Electra, Jamie Kennedy, or Funkmaster Flex.
It's so funny that I went to promote this video game on the Howard Stern show.
Steve, what's going on, man? What brings you down to the show today?
Well, I've got a number of things to promote. I'm now a video game hero.
And Artie Lang read off that same list you just read, and he said, well, if that's not the Mount Rushmore of celebrities, I don't know what is. They paid me very well to do that. Like in 2005, or I mean 2004, I'm sure it was. I think it was exactly $100,000 they paid me to do that.
All right. Oh yeah. All right.
Now the Tony Hawk game, they paid me exactly $5,000.
Wow.
And I think this one was wildly more popular, but who's gonna not?
Yeah. I mean,
do
yeah.
that, you know. This one, you would think I made a ton for this.
Because you're in that considerably more.
Oh yeah.
Like you are
yeah.
a character. You voiced that one. As
oh
well,
yeah.
Like
the whole deal. The Jackass was really good at not paying us that much.
But let's talk about Tony Hawk's Underground 2. You weren't a gamer at the time, but obviously friends with Tony Hawk, know all the crew. Did you realize just how big of an impact the Tony Hawk games had in the early 2000s?
I knew that it was life-changing for the Birdman.
There's a cheat code to get you as a
Yeah,
character.
I mean, they went out of their way to make it hard to find me.
No way, you found me. Check out my mechanical bull. It's time to get totally rad on this thing, yeah!
And I'm the one character, I believe, in the whole game that you don't ride around on a skateboard. You actually ride around on a mechanical bull as me, like a mechanical bull mounted on wheels.
During the process, how much did you know you were gonna be in the game? Were they just like one day, hey, do you want to be in this game? You had no idea. They didn't tell you what you were gonna do in it?
Tony Hawk asks, you say yes. I mean, he's the Birdman.
Shopping cart, schmopping cart, bam! My bull's rad, yeah!
Now, the Jackass game is interesting because I got clean and sober in 2008. And if I recall correctly, I did all of the studio stuff to create this game in 2007. And I showed up to the voice recording with like a tote bag full of nitrous oxide cartridges. Wow. And I just sat there like in this sound booth just inhaling this gas which altered my voice.
Right.
I think maybe it altered my voice forever. I don't know. But yeah, like I definitely don't sound anything like myself. Because like, to boot, I was out of my mind. Just impossible to be around.
My character just looks better than the rest. You're a mess, dude. What the hell are you saying? I said my character looks better than the rest. What's wrong with that?
I think there are probably large gaps in my audio offerings to this game because they just couldn't stand being around me at that point.
Wow. This is my favorite voiceover I've ever done. You gobbling, huffing smoker.
So there's a story mode in it where you basically are trying to make an episode of Jackass that MTV wants to put out.
Oh, cool.
And you guys are all like unlockable characters in it. And so we did track down a copy. Have you ever seen it in action? Have you seen yourself in it?
I'm not even sure that I have, but I do think it's worth pointing out that as I understand it, it did pretty well.
Well, do you want to play it and kind of take
Sure.
a look at it?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Cool.
Okay.
And the idiot dropped the camera too. Thanks a lot.
Wow, that doesn't look like Knoxville at all, huh?
The first day of shooting the new season, and we still got to get the other guys here. And now we need a new director because that one broke the camera. So here's the deal. You're the director. Find the rest of the crew. Shoot some funny stuff.
See, you notice I didn't say anything there?
You might have been cut.
I don't think that I had a breath to speak with that wasn't nitrous oxide.
So there's a bunch in here. Pachinko Precipice is you getting flung off a cliff. And you have to basically like slide down it.
All right, I'm Ryan Dunn, and this is called Pachinko Precipice.
And again, like you cannot say anything.
Isn't that great? I'm Ryan Dunn, this is called Pachinko Precipice. And so he did the intro for me. Yeah, they didn't want to use a lot of me talking from that recording.
You're gonna get kicked off here. And then if you use these buttons, these top two, and you can basically move yourself around.
Oh, look at that. I'm actually pretty good at this.
Yeah.
Head gash, nothing to say about it.
I think I heard like a ooh.
Yeah.
That might.
Which might not
That
that
might
might
have
not
been
have
you.
even been me. We've not heard me say a
No.
damn thing.
Would you want to try a different one? Because I think there is one where your face is on the camera, like it's
All
on
right.
the screen in the bottom.
Yeah,
corner.
let's go. Yeah, I don't look like, if that's me, it doesn't look a lot like me.
I like that your face in the bottom corner just kind of is going like opening his mouth very slightly, but not saying anything at all.
My recollection of the video game checks out. Don't do drugs, kids.
Do you think you're gonna become more of a gamer?
I'm certainly already more open-minded than I've ever been. My whole crew spends all kinds of time playing video games together online.
Oh yeah. Do you ever feel like that would be a way to connect with other people?
It evidently is because I know all kinds of people doing it. I've got this ranch in Tennessee where I spend most of my time, and my ranch hand is kind of okay having moved there because his I feel like his social life is a big piece of that is on video games, and he met his girlfriend on online playing video games. Now they're together at the ranch.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess during the pandemic, a lot of people did play games and talk to each other and just to connect while everyone was kept apart.
Well, I think we've covered my whole experience with being in video games just about.
And your experience with gaming?
Yep, just about. And I'm going to welcome opportunities to be introduced and hooked.
I'll let you leave here with a list. I'll be like, all right, go play
good.
these. And then we'll do another episode.
But yeah, I mean, hey, you know what? We all waste time in our own way. We all have our guilty pleasures. Whatever yours might be, whatever mine might be, let's just try to enjoy our lives. The world we live in is pretty messed up these days, and anything that we can do to find pleasure and joy in it is okay.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. Steve, thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me.
What else have you got going on right now?
I'm about to start what I'm calling an interim tour, where I'm effectively workshopping material for what will be my next proper tour, which will be called the Stevo's Gone Too Far tour. And I'm going too far.
Can't wait. Thank you so much again. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.